Rob Butler.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. It's a pleasure to be called at third reading. And indeed, as the Minister said, it was quite fun and quite enjoyable to serve on the Bill Committee. That should not be seen as a hint to the Whip's office. I want to be on every single Bill Committee that takes place in the future. This is a very important piece of legislation, and a key theme throughout its passage has been the importance of prominence for our public service broadcasters, the BBC, ITV, Channel 4 and Channel 5. And I should perhaps declare, Mr Deputy Speaker, that I've worked for 3 of them, and I'm sure that Channel 4 will one day complete the set. That is not either a clue that I'm looking for a new job in a year, much perhaps to the chagrin of the opposition benches. I am extremely pleased that there is a new regime to ensure appropriate prominence is given to PSBs, but I just wanted to say a word at this stage about that. I was very pleased to hear the Minister say that there would be detailed consultation on work with Ofcom, but I do believe it important that Parliament sets out very clearly to the regulator what we mean about prominence, and I look forward to the Government taking a robust stance on that to ensure that Ofcom itself then feels entitled and empowered to adopt a muscular approach. It must be bold with the TV manufacturers and expressing the will of this place to ensure the PSBs really are featured prominently. And I think we only need to look at one recent example of television to prove the value of PSBs, and that's the drama that's made the headlines in recent weeks, ITV's programme Mr Bates versus the Post Office. It highlighted an injustice to millions of people who hadn't previously been aware of that Horizon scandal, despite the fact it had been covered in many news media and despite the fact the government was already working extremely hard to provide both redress and recompense for postmasters well before that drama was aired. Mr Bates has had an immediate and an important effect, but it could only have been made by a PSB. The nature of that story is such that, yes, it's of massive interest to a UK audience, but its international appeal as a television programme might be less evident. ITV recognised the significance of the scandal, put serious money into it, took a commercial risk that would likely not have been approved by a non-PSB. That really does, I believe, Mr Deputy Speaker, speak to the value of this legislation that's in front of us today. And as Channel 5 pointed out, public service content, of course I will.
To highlight that issue, but it's also right, I think, to highlight the role that the Minister had. The Minister, for 18 months up to that happened, the Minister worked hard, and I think we all need to recognise perhaps as well that his contribution for 18 months coincided with the BBC programme, and the two came together at the right time.
I'm grateful to the honourable gentleman for making that point, and as I said, the government had been acting well in advance of that drama. But what I think that drama really did do was make the public aware in a way that the news hadn't been able to make people aware, that the government, despite its best efforts, and there were very serious efforts, and he's absolutely right to draw attention to the incredible work of the current Minister for Postal Services in achieving recompense and redress. But it was this drama that I think really made the public aware of that scandal and the need to provide redress. And as I was saying, Channel 5 has pointed out that public service content relies on easy access for viewers. Without the reforms in this bill, there'd be significant risk that proper public value content would be harder to find for audiences. That cannot be tenable. I'm delighted that this bill seeks to overcome it. It's just imperative Ofcom ensure and assure a prominence for our PSBs, as this House expects. Mr Deputy Speaker, I don't want to detain the House for any longer, just to say that public service broadcasting is one of the things that makes this country special. There is a Britishness about our broadcasting system and our market that is unique. This bill recognises and protects that. I'm delighted to support it.
Mr Deputy Speaker.